Nitro from January 29 as we wrap up the end of January. We're in Canton, Ohio, and you're ringside with Jimmy Hart. You steal Elizabeth's shoe, and Flair blasts Hogan in the eye to get the win. Later, Hogan's bandaged. I don't know if you remember that, but he's bandaged his eye. He makes the save with the chair. Then the following week in Lakeland, we get Woman jumping ship. She's done with Hogan and that group. She was with him. It was very short-lived. She joins the Horsemen. She attacks Savage. Flair kidnaps Miss Elizabeth because at this point, Miss Elizabeth is still with the good guys. And you and Pillman are involved in a tag match with Dungeon of Doom, and that ends in chaos. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about here at this point is we have the Horsemen, we have the Dungeon of Doom. Two heel factions that seem to both be going after Hogan and Savage. The problem is you're also going after each other. And it seems like the lines are just really blurry at this point. Do you remember or recall if there was a cohesive plan about the kind of this booking style? I mean, you're a guy who always understood psychology, but it felt like, why would you have the two heel factions brawling with each other as well as both targeting, the good guy group?
Well, your instincts are right, because by and large in those days, other than unless you've got a Blanchard Anderson Midnight Express pairing, wrestling heels, I think most fans, I don't know, they let you know, will just think, well, guys, go ahead in there and kill each other. I don't like any of you guys. And maybe it was a way to create some interest just from being different, because we didn't have heels versus heels very often in those days.
So to your point, it's just, hey, let's try something new, something we haven't done before. Let's try to mix things up, get people talking, and maybe try to do something a little different.
Throw something against the wall, see if it sticks. You didn't have 50 guys that were clearly defined and over, and 20 baby faces here and 25 heels over here. There was just trying to make everybody mean as much as they could, and the angle at least have a personal feel to it.
I also want to talk a little bit about Woman, Nancy, because she was portrayed when she first, again, with Hogan and Savage, as a babyface. But we, longtime wrestling fans, remember her being a heel, right? A heel manager, managing Doom in the Crockett days. Do you feel like, hey, why did we even start with that? She should have been a heel to begin with, or what are your thoughts on that? Because I always, again, just pictured her as a heel manager. So to move her to heel made a lot of sense to me. Just having her with Hogan just didn't seem like a fit from the beginning.
It would have been much better to have her debut as a heel.
Yeah.
And make some impact on her first TV. You're right. Hogan doesn't need female managers. He's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. And she seems like a perfect complement to the Horsemen.
Beautiful lady, inside and out. No doubt about that. But you looked at her and you knew she could make somebody miserable if she wanted to. Vicious.
She actually accompanies you for your match against Hogan. She walks you down the aisle. You're in a black leather vest, the first Nitro match. And I thought to myself, as I watched you walking down with her, you were obviously very respectful. You let her in the ring first. You hold the rope for her to get in. Always a gentleman, Arn, even as a heel. And I thought, I wonder, Arn, what thoughts of Nancy? Just nice lady behind the stage, easy to work with.
We were fans and had been friends for a while at that point. Like I said, one of the most lovely human beings, nicest people, kindest people you'll ever meet. And she was just one of those that she understood the business.
Yes.
She had good psychology. She wasn't just a eye candy.
Mm-hmm.
She was a player, and you put her out there and give her an assignment, she could pull it off. And in those days, they weren't lady wrestlers. They were ballets.
She, I agree with you 100%, because it, to your point, wasn't just eye candy and things like that. Of course, very attractive, but she knew the business. I think in the cage match, which we're going to talk about with Rick at Super Brawl, she is constantly screaming. You just hear her screaming, but she's playing her role so well. Whether she's pouring, the powder in her hand to throw it into Hogan's face, whether she was with Sandman and ECW, whatever her role was, she just did it so well. But then you also, and I've been able to talk to you and others, just hear about how kind she was and how nice. It's just so refreshing to hear good stories about her.